Okay, my beautiful friends, here we go. Are you ready? Because I think I'm ready. And what I want to do right now is I want us both to kind of just relax for a moment. Take a deep breath, just kind of, get in the zone here. Why am I kind of giddy today? I don't know why. I just am like that from time to time. So this is my post-market wrap-up on this Friday, December 23rd. 2022. Before I even get started here, just so you know what's going on, Monday this market is closed. So I will not be doing my usual morning and night routine, but I will do a markets a look ahead on Monday for you so we can get ourselves set up for the week. A lot of things are happening. A lot of things are going to happen. We have to keep our eyes on a whole bunch of things. Let's just start off with this. Today, right now, is the kind of official kickoff of the mythical, mysterious Santa Claus rally. Let's see where this goes. I personally, weeks ago, let's just cover a few things. Weeks ago, I was pretty certain we were going to get this so-called Santa Claus rally. But what happened? The Bank of Japan decided to kind of, it was really a shock in my view that all of a sudden we would have the Bank of Japan decide to, tweak their monetary policy and allow the 10-year yield to float around. And what was the immediate action? A sell-off in the global bond markets here in the United States as well. 10-year yield came up, MMRI higher, risk in the market rising. And this is what I always tell you, and why this market to me is so interesting. You just never freaking know what's going to happen. All of a sudden you got this to deal with and you got that to deal with. And I like that. I like to kind of, get my head around these things. Okay, what's the next phase? What's going to happen next? In my personal view, and I've covered this recently, I really don't like the action that we're seeing here in global bond markets. Let's just talk about a couple of months ago. Do you remember those insane gyrations we were getting? It was like making my head spin around like the freaking exorcist. Global stock markets, which are dependent on action here in the debt market, it was out of control. A lot of instability. Look, the debt market, it's a time bomb. It's a ticking time bomb. You all know that it's going to go off. And central banks are in the middle of some type of Herculean effort to try to maintain some kind of stability here. To keep the illusion real, because that's all this is. None of this has any bearing on reality whatsoever. The entire financial system in aggregate. You all know that. All right. So when Japan decided to, throw this out here, got the bond market rattled. I think Wall Street wasn't too sure what kind of signal this is sending. And to me, it's as clear as day. There is clearly an issue here in the debt market. You know this better than anybody on the face of the earth if you follow this blog. You also understand how every freaking thing derives value from action in the debt market. So that's just how this thing goes. So with that, today being the official kickoff of whatever so-called Santa Claus rally, we did get, I don't even want to say a rally today. The stock market did finish higher, but so did the 10-year yield, so did the MMRI, and risk is rising in this market. If this continues like this, people, look, you know what I'm going to tell you. Look out freaking below here. Are central banks right now thinking about what their next move is going to be? Of course, they already know what it is. If they see instability here in the debt market, I believe still they're not done. And they're going to step in here and buy more. And buy more to keep the illusion real. There's not enough people, again, in my opinion, and I would love to hear from you, that are dependent solely on the system. What did we find out just yesterday? The one percenters, the elite of the elite here, are the only class of people who've seen real wages or whatever they're earning outpace this freaking shitstorm of inflation that hit us all, that was supposed to be transitory, that was supposed to be temporary, and how it was fist-fed to you and me over and over and over and over again, until right now, I guess, from the mainstream propaganda ministry, who's trying to convince you, again, that what you're seeing is not real. And that's what they're actually there to do. And smile at you and give you googly eyes, whatever the freak that is. But you and I were paying attention. We know what we're looking at. We understand how this is not going to stop. Look, do you believe, let's just take a poll here, okay? Do you believe that there is the slightest chance, and I mean the slightest chance, that central banks are going to stop inflating? I don't think you believe that, because you know what the end game is. They're going to continue to inflate and inflate and inflate and appear the end. You understand the game. You know what central banks are trying to do. If you've been with me for any length of time, it's just crystal clear. You also understand that these institutions are the freaking enemy. It's the enemy within. The freaking enemy within. And it's amazing to me, it's astonishing to me, how you got the general population without any idea at all who the real government is, what's actually going on. They're fixated on Republicans and Democrats and who's spending what, and this bullshit thing and that dog shit thing over here, when it's the central banks that are pulling the strings. Everything else is just a freaking freak show, a side effect, and whatever else you want to call it. Anyway, so moving forward here, we're going to have a lot of things to pay attention to. Global debt is going to continue to balloon. And of course, you're going to hear how the Federal Reserve's balance sheet is shrinking. And this is supposed to make us all prosperous somehow. It's great what the Federal Reserve is doing. Central banks, they're so serious this time. They're really doing it now. I mean, if we really were allowed to know what central banks are doing under the table, off balance sheet, I think it would be a shock that people wouldn't be able to handle here. The system itself is just so freaking toxic. But like I said, this is the official kickoff today. We'll see how this plays out moving into next week. As I said, Monday is a holiday for the market. Anyway, with that said, nothing dramatic here with regard to the market today. Keeping our eye on bond yields, the MMRI higher here. The U.S. dollar relative strength slightly lower. Gold and silver catching a bid. Bitcoin doing okay today. Cryptocurrencies doing okay today. Crude oil catching a bid. Imagine my surprise. People, look. You know what the theme is going to be moving into next year? Energy. 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 I believe we're going to see a surge in energy prices, honestly. And we're going to see how they play this game moving forward with regard to commodity prices. I've been explaining to all of you for a long time. I put this out in my free newsletter, a list of commodity ETFs you might want to look at here. I mean, look, if this is too much, you already know what you should be doing. That is holding hard assets. The most undivided asset on the planet, in my opinion, is physical silver. Don't just take my word for a damn thing. I always tell you, do a little homework here. Look at the Dow gold ratio, gold silver ratio. I mean, it's just so simple that your fingers do the walking here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyway, that's where we stand here. It's going to be, I think, moving into next year, very, very interesting. And we'll talk more about this as we move forward closer into the new year and everything. But you know what we need to do, you and me? I'm going to tell you what we need to do. We got Christmas Eve tomorrow. We got Christmas Day on Sunday. Let's just take all this and just forget about it. Just for a few days. And enjoy our lives, the people that we love, the people that we care about, the spirit of the time we're in right now. For those of you that do celebrate Christmas or whatever holiday is going on around the world for you, well, you know what, good for you. Enjoy it. All right. Embrace these things and just realize what's really, really important. All of this is interesting. And it's, I like it because it keeps my mind going. I'm like one of these guys that if I'm not constantly engaged in something, I lose my ever-loving mind. I constantly have to be pondering things, thinking about things, looking forward, looking back. whatever. That's just, I think it's unfortunately in my gene pool. My dad was like that. My mom was like that. And unfortunately, I think it's something I inherited, and I don't think it's such a good thing. I really don't. Your mind can torture you from time to time, and you know how badly. Jimmy, are you watching? Jimmy, yeah. One of my dearest friends from a long, long time ago. He's like, Greg, you get yourself so worked up, and I do. This stuff poisons my soul from time to time. It really gets to me when I see what's going on, understanding the dynamics behind this, and how people they're being led to the slaughter. And they're just doing nothing about it. You and me, at least we're trying to do something. We're out here paying attention to what's going on, talking about these things, trying to raise awareness. Anyway, with that said, people, look, this guy here loves you a lot. Merry Christmas to all of you out here. I will see you. When am I going to see you? Oh, yeah. Monday for my Marcus Look Ahead. Not Sunday. Monday will be my Marcus Look Ahead because the market is closed on Monday. Now, with that said, it is Friday. And in the spirit of the events over this weekend here, Christmas, let's bring it in. Bring it in close, really close. You ready? Love each other. Care about each other. And be charitable. People, I mean this from my heart. I love you all. Wherever you are in the world, let's spread that around. Let's just pay it forward, spread a little love, and it'll just keep moving on. Hey, that was the theme song to the Partridge Family. Remember that? Spread a little love, and it will keep moving on. Yes, I'll keep my day job. I know I can't sing. All right, I'm out of here. I'll see you all on Monday. Merry, Merry Christmas, and that's all.